Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Joseph Parker is feeling extremely confident heading into his midweek fight with Faiga Opelu in Australia. So this fight will be Wednesday night Australian time, so that's a couple of hours earlier in New Zealand, morning time in the UK, and it'll be quite late in the United States, sort of Canada area. So this fight, it's crept up on us quite quickly. It was only announced about 3 weeks ago. Joseph Parker, off the back of his Jack Massey performance where he underwhelmed, needs a performance. And if he doesn't get one, if he labours over 10 rounds, well, it sort of starts to signal that he is on that downslide and that he's becoming a gatekeeper. But there seems to be something about the way he's presenting himself in the press conference, at least, where he means business. Doesn't seem like the canned statements of old that we've heard, what a great camp, all that sort of stuff. There's a bit of steeliness in his resolve, and he knows what a big fight this is for him. It might not be the biggest fight in the heavyweight division, doesn't really have any division relevance beyond, you know, him winning the Commonwealth title if he does win this fight, but for his career more broadly, he has to sort of stop the rot. He has to put in a good performance, and he needs to really sort of get a stoppage. Joseph Parker hasn't had any real stoppages in recent years and hasn't had one at the world level. This is maybe a step below world level, but he's got an opportunity to put a beating on Faiga Opelu and take him out. It's not going to be easy though, because Opelu is in career best form, having stopped Hemia Hill last year, and he's been an improving fighter. So his record sort of belies his talent level. He's actually a decent heavyweight, and this is a great opportunity for him. It's all upside. You know, even a lot of boxing fans do not know who Faiga Opelu is, otherwise also nicknamed as Django. So you've got Parker versus Django, and Parker needs this one. Andy Lee and Parker have been together for a while. What are we going to see? Parker actually looks much trimmer than he did for his past couple of fights. Let's face it, the bulked up Joseph Parker sort of gives away his speed advantages when he's down at sort of, you know, the high 230s or early 240s. So it's going to be important to see what he weighs in at. That's in about half a dozen hours or so from the time that I record this video, so obviously I can't touch on that. But a Parker that's not as bulky can utilize that speed, and he's got more gas in the tank as well when he's a bit lighter. We've seen Joseph Parker at these heavyweights, especially against Joe Joyce, basically gassed after a couple of rounds. Faiga Opelu is a guy that is going to need to get inside. He'll want to trade with Joseph Parker on the inside, and he's going to use volume. We've seen a few different fights. The one against Hemia Hill where the referee ended up jumping in. I mean, some people, including myself, thought it was slightly premature, but the thing is, Opelu just kept throwing his hands, and Hemia Hill wasn't doing enough to sort of throw back and respond in kind. I mean, you had the Lucas Brown fight where Opelu ended up gassing, but for the first 4 or 5 rounds, he was electric. He was all over Lucas Brown, putting it on him. So Joseph Parker should expect a fast start, and that will give him some opportunities for counter shots and to utilize his speed. But the thing is, he can't have this one end up sort of dragging into some war by attrition. Same thing every round, just doing enough for, you know, to win rounds, and then ultimately getting a sort of decision where people are not really satisfied. And generally we'll say a win is the most important thing. But the thing is, at this stage in Joseph Parker's career, he also needs to reignite things with fans in the heavyweight division more broadly, for people to go, actually, he's still a decent contender with a shot to go back to the mountaintop. He seems to be on the slide at the moment, and he needs to arrest that. He needs to stop that. He needs to put in a performance for people to take note. And he's going to really need to let his power punches go, sit down on those punches, and put it on Faiga Opelu. He needs to actually be aggressive and get a stoppage. Stoppage isn't everything, but it's certainly going to help his stock. His stock has been falling like a stone in the past couple of years, and especially that Jack Massey performance probably means his stock with fans in general. And I'm not talking Joseph Parker's hardcore fans. I mean, boxing fans more broadly. You know, people are just like, meh. It's just all been meh from Joseph Parker mostly for the past couple of years. There's been the odd bright spot, the second Derek Chisora performance, but apart from that, it's, you know, been pretty humdrum stuff. And I do think the injuries has really played a toll, especially people forget his elbow injuries. The ongoing chronic injury that I think plays a bigger part in his career and how he's feeling than he lets on. But what we'll do, a couple of comments, one starting with Opelu and then Joseph Parker. And this is what I'm talking about, that he really is confident and there's something in his voice and I actually believe him this time. Here we go.
The victory over Hemi was, you know, it was a great victory, and I plan on doing the same for this fight and create another upset.
You know, I know Django's had some good wins, but I ain't no Hemi, and I ain't anyone on his list. I'm a different fighter, and I've had a great camp with George Lockhart, Chris, Andy Lee in Ireland, and I'm ready to put on a good show. I'm in great shape, and it's the first time I've been in great shape for a long time. So, watch out. I feel like in the 10 years of boxing, this has been one of my best preparations ever. You know, even before winning the world title. So it's going to be, this fight's going to be very different, and I feel sorry for Django because he's the one in front of me and he's a fellow Usul, you know, fellow brother, but he's in front of me, so he's going to get the full force.
So what did you make of Parker's comments, the sort of steel in his and resolve in his voice? I mean, I actually do think that maybe genuinely this has been a good camp. There's been rumors that some recent camps with Andy Lee and other, you know, some of the fights that he's had before this one maybe haven't gone 100%. But yeah, he does need a performance, so hopefully everything has fallen into line. And his mate Tyson Fury, the heavyweight champion, WBC belt holder, is in town. He's here to support Joseph Parker. Seemingly, he's been sort of roped in to be part of the promotion to help, you know, market the event and maybe shift a few more tickets and pay-per-views. And I guess for locals in Australia where this fight is, can go meet Fury, have a word, all that sort of stuff. It does bring a little bit more buzz. And I guess the one shame of it, though, is that Joseph Parker's not even the biggest name at his own event. He's been overshadowed in some regards by Tyson Fury, with Fury's name plastered all over this event. Anyway, this is what Fury had to say.
I'm excited for the fight, and I know this lad comes to fight as well. He's a big puncher and he's had some good knockouts, so I'm expecting fireworks. And if it's not fireworks, then now it's heavyweight fight. Get stuck in. Someone's getting knocked the out, and I'm going to be ringside to watch it. Get up!
So what are you picking? Joseph Parker by decision, Joseph Parker by knockout, or are you picking Faiga Opelu to win this one and basically send Joseph Parker's career further down the chute? Let me know. Drop a comment loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.